and meditation, by definition, is actually a personal practice. It's really about daily inhibiting your own body and your own mind to start to see the connections that are taking place. So to start to see how your body is affecting your emotions, how your emotions are affecting your thoughts, how then your thoughts are affecting your emotions and your thoughts are affecting your body. All these connections that are usually taking place on a subconscious level. Through a yoga and meditation practice, you bring them up to a conscious level. And then you start to see, of course, which of those connections are producing good results in your life, and which of those connections are producing maybe a little bit of havoc in your life. And the first benefit, of course, of a yoga and meditation personal practice is that you start to be able to create those new connections with the help of neuroplasticity. Now, don't get me wrong, I think yoga classes are great, but the danger of them is that sometimes you can become a robot in them. So it can be like Simon says, put your hands up, and you put your hands up, and Simon says, put your hands down, and you put your hands down. And you can go through the whole class doing what the yoga teacher is asking you to do, but not really having that intimate internal experience, which is the second benefit of a personal practice. Now, for thousands of years, this is how it actually was. Yoga classes are really a new Western phenomena. And in India, where yoga began, it was very much a teacher and student relationship. So when you wanted to do yoga, you would approach a guru or a swami or a swamiji or yogi or yogini, as they're known over there. They go by different names. And they would assess where you are in your life stage, what your physical, mental, or emotional limitations were, and what you wanted to actually achieve from that practice. And then they'd give you a practice based on that. So yoga really adapted itself to the individual and not the other way around, which is again now a benefit of a personal practice. Because in a personal practice, you of course listen to your own body and cater the practice according to what is going on in your body, in your emotional state, in your mental state in that particular day. And if you're working on any physical problems like an injury, it can be really catered to help you overcome that injury as soon as possible, whether that be in your body, in your emotional state, or your mental state. So not only will you also see the results much faster, and this is specifically the case if you're working with an injury, but you'll also be using your time most effectively and efficiently, because you'll be doing a specific practice that's tailored specifically for what you need in that particular day. Another wonderful benefit of a personal practice is that it helps you to understand and get to know yourself a little bit more. So through the practice, you'll notice your thought patterns, your tendencies, but then through the practice, you also learn how to self-regulate and self-soothe. Now, a quote that I really like that really relates to this is, if you give a man a fish for a day, you feed him for a day. But if you teach a man how to fish, you feed him for his lifetime. So by learning how to create your own personal practice, you're in essence teaching yourself how to feed yourself for your whole lifetime. Because you're learning the tools and the techniques that really help you in your life to be able to self-regulate and self-soothe. And what those words mean is basically how to not react and rather respond, and be able to manage and understand your emotions and thoughts so they don't just overcome you and wreak havoc in your life. There's sometimes a few days that lapse between you going to a yoga class, and sometimes it's even a few weeks or even months. So by the time that you get onto the mat again, it feels like you're starting from scratch. All that strength and flexibility that you gained last time is kind of gone. So for a personal practice, you are able to maintain that. You are able to maintain the strength and flexibility that you build because you're building that on a daily basis. And you also see improvements and progress much quicker. And I'm not just only talking about physically, because you also see the improvements on an emotional level and a mental level as well. So as you probably know, when you've ever tried to implement a new area of your life of improvement, whether that be a new diet or fitness regime, it's only when you did that regularly did you see the results of that. And it's the same with a personal yoga and meditation practice. When you do it regularly, you see the benefits of it because you're creating a habit out of it. So sometimes what happens when you go to a class is that you compare yourself maybe to the person next to you or to the teacher, and then you can judge yourself that you're not, as good enough as you would want to be or should be. But when you're doing just yoga and it's just you and the mat, hopefully that gets eradicated. The reason I say hopefully is that sometimes we can be our biggest critic. So judgment is something that still can creep in and you've got to watch out for it. But the thing that helps is knowing that yoga is a personal journey. It's meant to be unique to everyone. So don't think that you have to achieve a certain level at a certain time or a certain stage or a certain age. It's a unique journey that shapes and changes with what's going on in your life and where you are mentally and emotionally. So remove all comparison and judgment in your practice. Creative freedom. So you get to choose what you want to do on the mat. You get to choose your tone, your intensity, your pace, and what asanas and pranayamas and meditation techniques that you want to do. And hopefully you're doing that from a place of connecting to yourself, connecting to your body, and feeling what you need that day. And that's when you start to see the magic. But when creating a personal practice, there are a few obstacles that come up. So in my next video, I help to remove those for you.